G'day mates, how we doing? Alright, we all make mistakes, it's why pencils have erasers on the back of them. Human error has taken more lives than any orchestrated terrorist attack ever will, but most of our mistakes are rather harmless, like forgetting something at home or telling someone that you love them. But some of us aren't as lucky and lose their life. Ironically, I was actually given my life by an accident. My dad even sued the condom company. He came in with no fucking defense, he just brought me on the stand and pointed. And now my therapy is covered by Durex. But that's a tale for another day. Anyway, let's get into it. Mild trigger warning as I will be discussing death. Let us go back over 100 years to 1904. Although the paper said it'll be a nice warm day, it was looking primed to be a shitter. Pun intended. The principal of Pleasant Ridge School let the kids out for recess, but soon after the rain began to pour quite heavily. As the rain picked up, many of the schoolgirls took shelter in the outhouse. The outhouse was a whitewashed, 10-foot square frame building. It was positioned over a 12-foot deep stone vault. I put that word in quotation marks because that is the nicest word I've ever heard to describe a 10-foot tall room of literal shit storage. Whilst in the outhouse, 12-year-old Hazel Senor heard someone say, "Oh, what if this would break with us down here?" Fuck! Oh god, we're stuck in the vault and it's so much worse than the name suggests. There was an estimated 31 to 35 schoolgirls in there. I'm unsure why it's an estimate. I feel it would be incredibly easy to accurately account for all that are missing at a school, but I digress. No warning from the hysterical girl screaming in the rain could have prepared Principal Zimmerman for what he was about to discover. There was only one narrow door to the outhouse. The dozen toilet seats were still attached to the three sides of the wall, but there was no floor at all. Zimmerman quickly rallied himself. "Boys, I need you to pretend I am both a fishing rod and the bait. Hold me by the legs and I'll fish him out like we're on the deadliest catch." He managed to rescue 3 girls this way before the ladders and ropes arrived, though the ladders were not long enough. He threw the rope down and told them to wrap their arm around it and he would bring them up. But as the girl on the rope reached the top, it broke and she was once again given a bacteria baptism. While Zimmerman was waiting for a ladder, he asked and begged the children to be quiet and brave and that he would rescue them. "Please children, be quiet. We're fucking drowning in shit, you be quiet." But it was little use. One of the lads found a big ass ladder in the barn and brought it over. It was not long enough to reach the bottom, but it did help rescue a few more. Running 2 blocks from his shop, John Steinkamp, a wagon maker in the village who had 2 daughters in the school, was one of the first on the scene. A few years prior, John had lost a son when he was struck in the head with a baseball bat. "I'm coming, girl!" "Wait, what? Why? We're trying to remove everyone from here." "Cannonball!" You're literally jumping into a pile of shit and children. That sounds like a metaphor, but it isn't. This is just an 8-foot free fall into a pile of poo and school children. Eventually they were able to get him out of the way, and he would wipe the shit off the children's face as they came up and checked. "Emma! Oh god, no! No!" "Oh, it's just some other dipshit." "You! Emma! Why? God, why?" Ha, silly me. "Emma!" Eventually, he did recover his dead daughter. After all the bodies were recovered, Coroner Weaver investigated the outhouse. It only took a glance. "Rotten, rotten, rotten," were his words. Look, I call a joist and a shit, and right there you have both. But your joist is arguably more shit than it is joist. What is this, pine wood? Fucking amateur. I wouldn't fuck my mother with pine wood. Well, most of us wouldn't fuck out. John remained on the scene, no longer frantic and helping in whatever capacity anyone would let him. Earlier that afternoon, he had spotted his wife and all 7 of their remaining children. 7 out of 9 isn't that bad, right? We can always make more. By the end of this, it was tallied that 9 of the 31 to 35 girls had died. I still really don't get how they don't have an accurate number. I mean, school literally does roll call, but fuck anyway. I know it's wrong, but I kind of wish one of the people that fell down there was called Jack so I could make the joke.
When they got down there was only 2 things, Jack and shit.
Next, in 1989, convicted murderer Michael Anderson Godwin, who originally was sentenced to death by electric chair, caught a lucky break when his sentence was downgraded to a life sentence. But God was like, "Oh hell no, I'm gonna take care of this." As the murderer was in his cell, he decided to try fixing his headphones while sitting on his metal prison toilet, giving him his very own DIY electric chair. So yeah, if you're ever using one of those shitty metal public toilets, don't use your phone at the same time, eh? Best for last. Clement Vallandigham is the greatest lawyer to ever live. He was once representing a man who killed a man in a bar brawl. Clement knew this was not going to be an easy case to win, so he pulled out one of the oldest tricks in the book. He tried to convince the jury that the man accidentally shot himself in the head. Now, this probably sounds impossible to prove, considering the evidence, the witnesses, etc., but he planned to demonstrate exactly how this happened. Alright, now watch me, yeah? This literally happens all the time. This can happen to anyone. This could even happen to... Well, I'm convinced. And Clement died, but he did manage to get his client off, free of charge. Another victory for Clement. Cheers, mates. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. Got less than 1,000 subscribers. It would mean the world to me. Cheers, mates. Have a good day. Emma!
Yeah.